There we go. There you go. Nice fish, man. Hi, I'm Dan Hernandez. I'd like to welcome you to this week's episode of Sport Fishing. And today we're back aboard the Gale Force. This is what we're going to be doing today, running around Santa Monica Bay looking for fish like this, beautiful Barracuda. Nice fish.
Thank you.
So stay tuned for this week's exciting episode of Sport Fishing. Welcome to Sport Fishing with Dan Hernandez. We're fishing Santa Monica Bay, see all the boats around us, and we're just picking away at the Barracuda. Yeah, I don't have one on right now. And we're getting them on a combination of things. Some guys are using jigs, other guys are getting them on bait. So far we've got 3 to the boat on live bait and 1 on a jig. And you got one?
Got one.
There we go, here's another one.
Walk down. Another one on the fly line. All right. Finally, on the board. Monster time. Got him, all right. Woo.
This is Adrian. He just caught his second Barracuda of the morning, and he's fly lining using live anchovies, little sinker, nice fish. We've got 2 more fish hung right now, but we're going to take a little break from the action right now aboard the Gale Force and go to the tackle box and show you the gear we're using for catching fish like this today. Nice fish, man.
Okay, thank you, Doc.
This week in the tackle box, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about how to be successful when fishing with live bait. Now, I know a lot of people think that being successful with live bait fishing is all about just what your bait's doing out there away from the boat, close to the fish. And to me, to be successful at live bait fishing has more to do right at your reel. And what I mean by that is I want to always know what my bait is seeing and doing. And I do that by just feeling the line as it comes off my reel, paying attention to what I feel. Now I have a big reel here just to demonstrate it, to make it easier for you to see, but it doesn't matter what kind of reel you're using. It could be a spinning reel, it could be a bait caster, it could be like a 500 size reel, it doesn't matter, it's all the same technique. So I cast my line out, my bait hits the water, and as soon as my bait hits the water, what I want to do is back spool my reel to catch up to my bait. I want to feel that bait out there. Now it's not going to weigh a lot, even if it's an anchovy, but you can feel it there on your fingertips when you connect with it. Now once my bait hits the water and there's no threat, maybe there's no fish in the area, it's just going to kind of slowly swim out there. It's not going to ask for a lot of line, just going to kind of drift in the current, and every once in a while ask for a little bit of line. When it does, I'm going to feed it a little bit of line just as what it asks for. What I don't want to see you do, and I see this happen all the time on party boats, is someone casts out, and as soon as the bait hits the water, they're just putting line and putting line and putting line out there. You don't want to do that. All you're going to do if you do that is tangle everybody on the side of the boat as your line gets stuck in the current and starts moving. So you just give it line as your bait asks for it. Now, when I do back spool it and I don't feel my bait, what I will do sometimes is just put the reel in gear and catch up to my bait by just turning the handle and catch up to my bait. I want to get to the bait so I can feel what that bait is doing out there, what it's seeing. It's my eyeballs out there away from the boat. Now, once my bait is out there and he sees, let's say, a 20, 30-pound yellowtail, it's going to start moving a little bit faster. It's going to want to get away from that fish. When it sees that that fish sees it, it's going to move a little bit faster even more. And once that fish, that yellowtail, starts to charge at my bait fish, it's really going to move. And all those steps, because I'm paying attention right here at the reel, I'm feeling with my fingertips. I'm feeling it, see it. I'm feeling my bait getting nervous and trying to get away from that fish because the line's coming off faster and faster off my reel, and I'm paying attention to that by just keeping my fingers on the fingertip and my hand on the spool. So I can feel all that stuff happening. Now, when that bait fish is, really scared because that yellowtail is coming down and chasing down on it, and it's swimming really hard like that, it goes from this to a thump, just a thump like that, where my bait is now inside the fish. It went from a little sardine to a 30-pound yellowtail, and the line screaming off my reel as the fish goes the other way. Now, it's bad enough that those fish are going to hit it and attract it and just swallow it really hard, but they don't go up to it and chew on it. What they do is they get close to it, and they don't even have to touch it. They just suck up all the water and everything between that bait fish and themselves. All the water blows out through their gills, and that bait fish is that thump going right down the fish's throat. When that happens, point your rod at the fish, count to like 3 or 4 at the most. Don't count to 10. Put the reel in gear, and then let your rod load up. Even if you're fishing Spectra, you're going to have mono as a leader or fluorocarbon as a leader. Let that rod load up and point right at the fish, and then drive the hook into the fish. The monofilament is nothing more than a rubber band, so you want it to really just take all that stretch out as that rod points to the fish, and then drive the hook into the fish. I'm a big guy. I pull very hard on fish. I've never brought in just a fish head, but it's kind of a goal of mine. You want to really set that hook on the fish. The only exception to setting the hook on a fish after it's picked up your bait is if you're fishing a circle hook. At that point, you just put the reel in gear, point the rod at the fish, and the line will start coming off your reel, and you're all done. You don't have to do anything else. Just start fighting the fish. Let's get back on the water and show you more exciting action right here on Sport Fishing.
Excuse me, man.
Nope, I got someone's line.
Come on into the corner, just like it.
All right. When I'm fishing with really light gear, but I like to fish for calico bass with jigs. Got 12-pound test line. on a freshwater bass here basically. And just fly line an anchovy. And I got a circle hook on because I got really light line. And I got that circle hook, so, you know, catching a barracuda like this, about 90% of the time you're gonna hook them with a circle hook in the corner of the jaw. So I really don't have to worry about the fish sawing me off. So I just take my time and work myself in this corner over here and keep pulling on this fish. See, the boats are all around us. That boat there, Enterprise, is from Long Beach, over kind of where I keep my boat, same harbor. And they're all out here fishing Santa Monica Bay.
Come on, baby. Whose line is that? Whose line is it? On the crocodile, huh?
Okay, here comes my fish. Can't really pull too hard because I only got 12-pound test line. Just take my time. There he is. Nice color. Nice color. There he is, right there. Just take my time. There he goes. Lay him out. All right, nice stick. You can see where that fish is hooked. He's just barely hooked right there. That's why it's important to keep pressure on it. Circle hook, and that's what's nice about using a circle hook, is you're gonna always hook them on the corner of the mouth like that. That's really cool. All right, well, we're gonna take a little break from the action and go to the galley and show you how to cook up a delicious fish like this barracuda I just caught. We'll be right back. This week in the galley, I want to talk to you about a fun, delicious recipe for cooking up barracuda. You know, they're long, slimy fish. People think they don't taste really good, but I tell you, barracuda is a great dish to eat, great fish to eat, and this is what they look like, nice and silver. But this is more of a delicate fish. You really want to cook it kind of fast. What we're going to show you is a beautiful, little, delicious recipe for doing this, making fish tacos. Now, I have some barracuda, and it's sitting right here in the Dan Hernandez sweet and spicy dipping sauce. We also use it as a marinade, sometimes even use it as a salad dressing, and put it right there. Well, this has been sitting here for about an hour. I have our Dan Hernandez fish batter, and I put some beer in there and just gonna mix it up with a little bit more, make it nicely crunchy looking. And all you do is just mix it up, get a nice consistent texture to it. Now, if you don't want to use beer, if you're allergic to beer or you just don't drink beer, you can go ahead and just use water. Okay, so we have this nice, good consistent. I'm just going to turn up my flame here. And what I want to do is add a little bit of oil. I'm not going to add a whole lot of oil. It's because I'm not going to like deep fry it like a deep fryer. I'm just going to kind of pan fry it. So I just want enough to cover the bottom of the plate. And once I get this nice and warm, I'll just drop my fish in there. Okay, the oil's getting nice and warm. We have our batter. You see how nice and consistent this looks? So all we want to do now is take the fish, and take it out of the marinade or the dipping sauce, put it in the batter, and just drop it right in the pan. Take another piece of barracuda and just drop it right in the pan. And that's all there is to it. It's really nice and simple. It'll just take a little while for this to cook up, and then we'll go ahead and make our taco. Now we're ready to go ahead and make the tacos. So all we're going to do at this point is get our tortillas, warm them up really quick, just throw them on the grill. That's all we want to do, is just brown them a little bit. And then all I'm going to do, turn that off, throw my tortilla in the pan. Fish is nice and fried up. Got me a piece of the barracuda. Get a little bit of cabbage, got red cabbage here. Some green cabbage. Like the contrast in the colors. Wouldn't be a Mexican dish without cilantro, so put a little cilantro there. A little bit of bell peppers. And then just squeeze on a little bit of lemon, and a little bit of lime. And the big kicker on this is you want to add some more of the dipping sauce. So just go ahead and get the dipping sauce, the sweet and spicy. And lots of times you see people use like a mayonnaise sauce or something. This is totally different. Just put a little bit of the dipping sauce on there. and that's it. If you want to try different flavors, there's 4 different flavors of dipping sauce. The sweet and spicy is really a great one to try with tacos. That is delicious. You know, barracuda is a fish that a lot of people think just isn't worth cooking. I'll tell you, this is a delicious recipe, really simple to do. We're just using the Dan Hernandez Baja style fish batter. And to marinate it, we use the dipping sauce. This is a sweet and spicy dipping sauce. You can find it at your local store or visit our website. Both those products are there. And I'll tell you, it's just a really simple way to do. You just add little ingredients to it. I always like to add a little bit of that lemon lime at the end. It just really soaks into the fish, makes it taste really delicious. And I tell you, fresh barracuda is one of the best fish you can eat. It's really good. It's just about cooking it fresh. Well, let's get back on the water and show you more exciting action here on Sport Fishing.
Alright, just walk up line again. Get off the crest.
I think no, it's still there.
The log, yeah.
So I'm getting bit right here. You can see the fish taking line. So I have a circle hook on, so I can't swing on it. So all I can do is just put the reel in gear and take out the slack, see if I can catch up to it. Nah, it just spit it out. So when that happens, I'll just drop it back on free spool. Sometimes those fish will come back and get it. But because I have a circle hook, I can't set the hook. If I set the hook, I'll just lose the fish. So just gotta keep moving my bait around a little bit more and see if that fish will come back for it. But he ran with it pretty good there for a little bit. I thought he was gonna swallow it. He did swallow it. Took my bait.
There you go, another one on the fly line. Circle it.
One through.
Oh, we're gonna measure them there.
This is Chris, he's running the boat now in the gale force. We've been fishing this boat so long, when Danny used to run it, the owner of the boat, and then Ryan, and then John Ackley was in there for a little bit.
Yeah.
So I know you'll do a great job. And you fished for years with your dad in the city. Let's see what this is. Looks like a berry. Very nice gaff. So I'm using light line and a circle hook, and the whole reason for the circle hook is this is what I want to do. The circle hook, I'm going to always hook that fish in the corner of the jaw, and I don't have to worry about those sharp teeth cutting my line. That's why I always tell you guys, if you're fishing sand bass and there's barracuda around, or especially a day like today where we're targeting barracuda, you're going to throw light bait, you got to use a circle hook. It's pretty cool. Thanks a lot, man.
No problem.
So what's the plans with the boat? You're going to keep fishing springtime, this type of fishing, and then run the island when there's fish? Or?
Yeah, as soon as the island picks up, we're going to be heading over there, targeting calico bass, barracuda, bonita, that sort of thing.
Are you guys strictly charter now, or is he doing open party too?
Right now, we're still strictly chartered.
Okay. All right, cool. You get more information by calling down the landing, and I think they have a website too for the Gale Force, right?
Yeah, we're having a website being
Done right now. Cool. All right, we're going to take a little break from the action, and when we return, I'll be giving you this week's tip of the week. This week's tip of the week is brought to you by Magic Metal Jigs and Bucktail Jigs. For this week's tip of the week, I want to talk to you a little bit about how I caught the fish today. And today the fish weren't hitting a lot of jigs. They're really touchy. And because of that, you had to fish light line. And I was fishing with this outfit, basically a freshwater bass outfit that I use a lot for calico bass fishing out here in the ocean. 12-pound test line, bait caster reel, nice thin line. And for the hook, what I was using was a thin wire circle hook. And I like the circle hook because when you're fishing for barracuda, the circle hook is always going to hook that fish in the corner of the jaw. And even though I was fishing with 12-pound test line, I never had to worry about the fish biting me off because I was using a circle hook. That's this week's tip of the week. You know, use light line when the fishing gets touchy like it was today, and always use a circle hook when you're fishing for barracuda. Well, I want to thank the crew of the Gale Force. Chris, our skipper, did a great job. Got us on a bunch of fish. We just had a great time. Well, I'm Dan Hernandez, hoping you enjoyed this week's episode of Sport Fishing, and I hope you join us again next week as we go looking for more of the best in sport fishing.